Hello children, hope you are all doing good. Have you all learnt what I have taught you in the previous classes? We have completed a lesson, is it children? Learn it properly, okay? Okay, and I am very happy that you are all listening the class properly and you are doing your homeworks. Okay children, very good, okay? I am very happy. So, very good children. And in this class, we will see the second lesson, okay? After completing today's class, we will check the homework, okay? Which I had given in the previous class. Book activities, children? We will check it, okay children? Today, we are going to learn lesson 2, okay? Lesson 2, motion and force, okay? Motion and force, okay children? Before beginning the class, I will ask you some questions, okay children? Children, have you ever traveled by train? Okay, you can see this train in the screen, is it children? Okay, just imagine, okay children, you are all inside the train. Okay, you are all inside the train. It is a moving train. Okay, okay, what you can see in the train? If you are in the moving train, okay, simply you are inside the train. Okay, what you can see in the train? Inside the train, what you can see? You can see some other passengers in the train. The children. Okay, are they in rest or motion? Simply they are sitting or they are sleeping. Is it children? In the train, they are sitting in their seats, or else they will be sleeping in their seats. Is it children? So that what will you say? You'll say as they are at rest. Is it children? Okay. I will ask you again. If you are inside a moving train, okay, and if you are watching outside the window, okay, you are just watching outside the window, okay, what will you see? What will happen there? When you look outside the window, all the objects outside the window, the buildings, people standing on the platform, they all appear to move backwards, is it children? Because you are in the moving train, so that in your perspective, it seems to be moving backwards. Is it children? Is it? Okay. And again, if you are again imagine, okay, you are just standing in the platform. Okay, you are not inside the train. You are just standing outside. Okay, you are just standing in the platform. Okay, children, and you are observing the train. Okay, what happens? What will you say? The people inside the train are in rest or motion? Now you are outside the train, okay? You are just observing. You are just observing a moving train. What will you say? In your perspective? They are all in motion, is it children? They are all traveling, is it? They are all traveling. They are all moving forward along with the train. So that in your perspective, they are in motion. Okay, children. So that I am saying that whether it is rest or motion, all depends upon our perspective. Okay, so that we are mentioning with respect to one's reference point. Okay, children. So that we are mentioning with respect to one's reference point. Okay, children. Again, we will see another one. Okay, children. Yeah, can you see the screen? What you are seeing in the screen? There is a moving car. Inside the car, two people are there. Is it children? There are two people inside the car and one boy is outside and standing outside the car and seeing that moving car. Is it children? Is it? Okay, we will just imagine, okay. Inside the car, there are two people. Is it children? One is Sam Addis, okay. The person who is driving the car is Sam Addis, and the another one who is sitting along with Sam Addis is Shelton. Okay, we'll just imagine. Okay, and then someone is standing outside. Is it children? in the ground, someone is standing and seeing the moving car as a children, that person is Jeremiah. Okay, we are just imagining. Okay, children, I am asking Sam Addis. Okay, I am asking Sam Addis that is Shelton is at rest or in motion? Sam Addis is driving the car as a children. I am asking that Sam Addis, what I am asking? Is Shelton is at rest or motion? In Sam Addis' perspective, what is that? He is simply sitting in the car as a children. Shelton is sitting in the car. So, what will be his reply? He is at rest. Okay, what he will say? Shelton is at rest. Okay, children. And again, I am asking the same question to Jeremiah. Okay, he is standing outside as a children. He is standing in the ground and watching that moving car as a children. I am asking Jeremiah. What he will say? Is Shelton is at rest or motion? With Jeremiah's perspective, Shelton is at motion. Okay, children. In Jeremiah's perspective, Shelton is in moving car, so that he is traveling in the car. Okay, he is moving along with the car, so that in his perspective, Shelton is in motion. Can you all understand, children? So, if it is rest or in motion, it is according to our own perspective. So that we are mentioning that with respect to Jeremiah, with respect to Sam Addis. Okay, so that we are mentioning that with respect to. Okay, and okay, if you are seeing anything moving, what will you say? It is in motion. Okay, if you are just seeing anything moving, what will you say? It is in motion. Is it, children? And again, if it is at rest means, if it is not moving means, what will you say? We'll say it is in rest or it is at stationary. Okay, children, it is at rest or it is at stationary. Okay, I just kept a book in the table. Okay, children, I just kept a book on the table. Okay, it is simply there. Okay, what will you say? We will say that it is at rest. Is it, children? It is at the stationary. But is it true? Is that book is a stationary thing? Is it not moving? We all are in the planet Earth. Is it, children? Our Earth is rotating in its own axis and also it is revolving around the sun. Is it, children? So that we all are moving along with the Earth. Is it, children? We all are moving along with the Earth. But in Earth's perspective, whatever things in the Earth are all moving along with it. Is it, children? We are all moving along with the Earth. In my perspective, I am saying that the Earth that book is in rest. But in perspective of the Earth, it is in motion because the Earth is rotating in its own axis and also it is revolving. So that the peoples inside the Earth, the objects inside the Earth are all in the motion. Okay, children, can you all understood? So, whatever we are saying, rest or motion, just depends upon our own perspective. Okay, so that we are mentioning with respect to. Okay, with respect to one's reference point. Okay, children. So, what does mean by rest? When body doesn't change its position with respect to the surroundings. Okay, when body doesn't change its position with respect to the surroundings, that is called rest. Okay, and what does mean by motion? When body changes its position with respect to the surroundings. Okay, when body changes its position with respect to the surroundings is called motion. Can you all understand, children? Okay, we have learnt rest and motion. The children, we have learnt about rest and motion. And next we will see about uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Okay, uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Okay, what does mean by uniform motion? Okay, I will say you. Okay, children. Okay, an athlete is participating in a marathon competition. Okay, do you know what does mean by marathon? You should run lots and lots of kilometers. Okay, that is called marathon competition. Okay, okay, an athlete is participating there. Okay, in that competition, he is running. Okay, he is participating in that competition. He just covers, for each and every second, he covers 3 meter distance. Okay, for the first second he covers 3 meter, and then the next second he covers another 3 meter. Likewise, he is covering 3 meter for each and every second. Okay, till to the end he completed the race. Okay, till he completes the race, he travels 3 meter for each and every second, means that is called uniform motion. Okay, முடிகிறது வரைக்கும், ஸ்டார்டிங்ல இருந்து முடிகிறது வரைக்கும் ஒவ்வொரு செகண்ட்க்கும் he crossed 3 meters. Okay children, so that we are calling this motion as uniform motion. Can you all understand? And then non-uniform motion. What is meant by non-uniform motion? Okay, again another athlete is participating in an marathon competition. Okay, he is just traveling in the first second he crossed 4 meter. Okay, in the first second he crossed 4 meters, and in the next second he crossed 2 meter, and then in the next second he crossed again 4 meter, and in the next second he crossed only 1 meter. Okay, if there is the change in distances, okay, if there is a change in if there is unequal distances in the same interval of time, means that is non-uniform motion. Okay, this athlete is also participating in that same marathon competition. Okay children, அதே marathon competitionல இவங்களும் இந்த அத்லெட்டும் participate பண்றாங்க. But in the first secondல என்ன பண்றாங்க, he travels 4 meters, and then in the next second he crosses 2 meters, and in the next second he crosses 4 meters. Likewise, the distance he traveled in every second is different. Is it children? So if it is different, means if it is non-uniform, means that we are calling that as non-uniform motion. Can you all understand? Okay, we'll see. Okay, uniform motion means if a body is said to be uniform if it travels equal distances in equal intervals of time. Okay children, a body is said to be in uniform motion if it travels equal distances in equal intervals of time. Okay children, and then the next one is non-uniform motion. A body is said to be in non-uniform motion if it travels unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Okay children, can you all understand about uniform and non-uniform motion? We'll see about the types of motion. Okay, we have 8 types in your book. Okay children, the first one is translatory motion, and the next one is rotatory motion, oscillatory motion, vibratory motion, periodic motion, non-periodic motion, multiple motion, and then random motion. Okay children, we will see one by one. The first one is translatory motion. Okay children, what you can see in the screen? There is a running race. The children, 5 kids are participating in that competition, and at the final 3 got the first prize. The children, 3 got the first prize. Why? What is the reason? Because the 3 of them ran at the same time. The children, 3 of them crossed the finishing line at the same time. The children, all the children cross the same distance, and at the same time those 3 cross the finishing line, so that they got the first prize. So what does mean by translatory motion? When the bodies travel same distance in same time, that is called translatory motion. Here in the running race, 3 of them got the first prize. Why? What is the reason? They had crossed the finishing line at the same time. Okay, they ran the same distance, and at the same time they crossed the finishing line, so that they got the first prize. The children, so when bodies travel same distance in same time is called translatory motion. Can you all understood? And then the next motion, rectilinear motion. It is also a branch of translatory motion. Okay children, okay. If a person is jogging on a straight road, okay, yeah, you can see the images. The children, that man is jogging on the straight road. Okay, Okay, this type of motion which occurs along the straight line is known as rectilinear motion. Okay, children, that man is jogging in the straight road. So, children, it forms a straight line. So that we are calling this motion as rectilinear motion. Okay, children, can you all understood? It is a branch of translatory motion. Can you all understood? The next type of motion is curvilinear motion. It is also the branch of translatory motion. Okay, children. Okay, if you are playing with a ball. Okay, if you are playing with a ball and thrown the ball, what will happen? Will it travel in the straight line? No, is it? It will travel in a curved path. So, children, so that this type of motion is called curvilinear motion. Okay, in which a body travels along a curved path. That is called curvilinear motion. Can you all understand? First of all, we have learned about translatory motion. So, children, in translatory motion, we have two branches, that is rectilinear motion and then curvilinear motion. Okay, what does mean by translatory motion? If a body is moving, covering the same distance in the same time, means that is called translatory motion. Okay, children. Yeah, first one is rectilinear motion. So, children, if a man is jogging in a straight line, if he covers the straight road, means that is called rectilinear motion. Okay, children, and then curvilinear motion. What is the example? If we throw a ball to the sky, means it will come towards us in a curve motion. So, children, it will come back to us in a curve path. So that we are calling it as curvilinear motion. Can you say any other example of translatory motion? Yeah, can we say the carom as translatory motion? If we just hit a coin in a carom board, means will it what path it will take? It will take a rectilinear path. Children, it will take a straight line. So that we are calling it as rectilinear motion. And can you say any other example of curvilinear motion? If you just thrown a cricket ball, if you are playing cricket, if you just hit the ball with a bat, what will happen? The ball moves in a curved path. So, children, if you hit a 6, means in what path it will take? It will take a curved path. So, children, so that these are the examples of curvilinear motion. Can you all understand, children? The next type of motion is rotatory motion. Okay, children, you have seen the tires of cycles and cars. Children, okay, it is moving. Yes, okay, it is moving in an axis. So, children, from the center it has an axis. So, children, it is rotating in the same axis. So, children, so that we are calling this as rotatory motion. Okay, children. If any objects rotate in the same axis, means that is called rotatory motion. Okay. Can you say any other examples of rotatory motion? Have you seen the windmill? The leaves of windmill are rotating in the same axis, children. So that windmill is an example of rotatory motion. And then can you say any other example? Fan is the example of rotatory motion. Is it, children? And merry-go-round. Have you played in the merry-go-round? In the merry-go-round, it is also rotating in the same axis. Is it, children? So that it is also an example of rotatory motion. Okay. If any object rotates in its same axis, means that is called rotatory motion. Okay, children. If you are just spinning a top, means pambaram chutringa, it will also rotates in the same axis. Is it, children? So that it is also an example of rotatory motion. Can you all understand, children? The next type of motion is oscillatory motion. Yeah. Do you know what is meant by oscillatory motion? Yeah. Can you see the screen? What the kids are doing? They are swinging. The children, they are swinging. So they are moving back and forth from a particular point. The children, they are swinging back and forth from a particular point. So this repeated motion of a swing going back and forth is called what motion? Oscillatory motion. Okay, children. It's the swing will move back and forth. The children, move the children. So that movement is called oscillatory motion. Yeah, can you say any other examples of oscillatory motion? We have said swing. Swing is the example of oscillatory motion. And another example? Yeah, if you had tied a ball with a twine means it will move in an oscillatory motion. So children, it will move back and forth. So children, so that it is an example of oscillatory motion. And another example is pendulum of a clock. Have you seen the grandfather's clock, old clock? It will make some sound, is it? We will give keys for that, and it will give sound for every 1 hour. Is it, children? Okay, it has the needle, very long needle. Is it, children? And the second, so there is a pendulum. Is it, children? That is called pendulum clock. So that it will also move in the oscillatory motion. Okay, children, can you all understood? And the next type of motion is vibratory motion. Okay, the next type of motion is vibratory motion. Yeah. We said, is it? We have learnt about oscillatory motion. So children, in the same oscillatory motion, if the rate of oscillation increases rapidly, okay, that is called vibratory motion. Okay, we said, is it, children? If you are swinging, that is called oscillatory motion. If the pendulum is moving means that is oscillatory motion. If it is moving rapidly means romba fast. If it moves very fast, that is called vibratory motion. Okay, children. Yeah, can you say any other example of vibratory motion? Have you played a violin or guitar? The string will vibrate. Is it, children? While playing, because of vibratory motion only, the sounds are creating. The children, the musics are creating. So that it is an example of vibratory motion. And if you just will play in the school as a children by placing the scale in the table and you will just press it, what will happen? Steel scale. By using the steel scale means it will vibrate as a children. So that is example of vibratory motion. Can you all understand, children? If the rate of oscillation increases rapidly, that is called vibrating motion. Can you all understand? And then the type of motion is periodic motion. What does mean by periodic motion? I'll say an example, okay. The clock, the hands of the clock moves periodically, okay. It will move, is the children? It will repeat its motion after the regular constants, the children. It will move again from 12, 1, 2, 3, like this. It will be in the regular motions, the children. So that we are calling it as periodic motion. And can you say any other example? The earth is revolving around the sun, as the children. That is a periodic motion. Can you all understand? If a body repeats its motion after regular or constant intervals of time, that is called periodic motion. Can you all understand? And then the next type of motion is non-periodic motion. Okay, children? Yeah, the periodic motion and the uniform motion are the same, okay? And the non-periodic motion and the non-uniform motion are the same. So, what is the example I had said? If a marathon competition, in a marathon competition, an athlete is running means in the first second, if he covers 4 meter, and in the next second, if he covers 2 meter, and in the next second, if he covers again 4 meters, likewise, if he just changes the distance in the same interval in the fixed interval of time, if he changes the distance means, if the distance changes means that is called non-periodic motion. Okay, children, can you all understood? the non-periodic motion and the non-uniform motion are the same. Okay, in non-periodic motion, the motion is not in the regular intervals of time. Okay, children, can you all understand? And the next type of motion is multiple motion. Okay, multiple motion means if a body is performing 2 or 3 motions at the same time, means that is called multiple motion. Okay, I will say you an example. Okay, if you are riding a cycle, yeah, if you are traveling in a straight path, means that is a translatory motion or a rectilinear motion, the children. And then you are pedaling the cycle, the children. The wheel is rotating in a rotatory motion, the children. So it is a second motion. And then if you are traveling in the same intervals of time, means that is periodic motion. Okay, and if you are not traveling in the same intervals of time, means also that is non-periodic motion. Likewise, if a body is performing 2 or more motions, that is called multiple motion. Can you all understand, children? And then the next type of motion is random motion. Okay, random motion means from one type of motion, it will just change. Okay, அப்படியே skip ஆயிட்டு next type of motion, it will perform next type of motion. That is called random motion. If we set the butterfly as an example, means if the butterfly wants to drink honey from the flower, means first of all it will rotate. Okay, it will rotate to the flower. Okay, and then if it wants to fly, means it will fly in the curvilinear motion. Likewise, if it changes the state of motion, means that is called random motion. Okay, at the same time it will again it will change its type of motion, so that it is called random motion. Okay, children, can you all understood? In this class we have learnt about rest and motion. Is it, children? Rest and motion. Okay, and then we have learnt about uniform and non-uniform motion. Can you all understood all these? And then we have learnt about types of motion. The first one is translatory motion. Yeah, can you say any example of translatory motion? In translatory motion we have 2 types. What are the 2 types? Rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. Okay, if you are running in the straight path, means that is rectilinear motion. And then if you are thrown a ball, means it will fly in a curved path, is it, children? So that it is called curvilinear motion. And then the next type is rotatory motion. In rotatory motion, the object will rotate in a fixed axis. Okay, if an object rotates in a fixed axis, means that is called rotatory motion. We can call the rotatory motion as circular motion. Okay, and then the third type is oscillatory motion. If a swing moves back and forth, that is called oscillatory motion. And then the next type is vibratory motion. If a swing, okay, we have learned about oscillatory motion, is it, children? So if the rate of oscillation increases, we said oscillatory motion means if it moves back and forth, means that is oscillatory motion. So children, the same procedure, if it moves back and forth rapidly, means very fastly, if it moves from back and forth, means that is called vibratory motion. Okay, what is the example I said? The string of the guitar or violin, that is the example of vibratory motion. Okay, children, and then the next type is periodic motion. Yeah, periodic motion means in the regular interval. Okay, in the regular interval and the constant intervals, if anything is moving, means that is periodic motion. Okay, the earth moves around the sun, that is revolves around the sun, that is the example of periodic motion. Okay, and then the hands of clock moves in the periodic motion. So children, and the next type of motion is non-periodic motion. Okay, non-periodic motion means if it does not move in a regular time intervals, means that is called non-periodic motion. Okay, can you say any example? Non-periodic motion. Okay, in a traffic, if you're riding the car in a traffic, what will happen? We can't move in the regular intervals. The children, if there is signal means we will wait till it changes to green signal. The children, so we will wait. So there is no regular interval of time. So a moving car is the example of non-periodic motion. And then multiple motion. What is meant by multiple motion? If a same body is performing 2 or 3 types of motion, means that is multiple motion. What is the example I said? Riding a bicycle. Okay, riding a bicycle, the wheel, the tires of the bicycle is the example of rotatory motion. And if you are riding the bicycle in a straight road, means it is the example of rectilinear motion. Likewise, if you have performed with the same body, if you are performing 2 or 3 types of motion, means that is multiple motion. And then the last type of motion is random motion. Okay, if a body is doing a type of motion, again it just changes to next type of motion, and again it changes to another type of motion, means that is called random motion. The types of motion will be changing in the same time. Okay, that is called random motion. Okay, children, can you all understood? Okay, that's all about this class. We will check the answers for yesterday's homework. Okay, children, this is the homework I had given, is it? Okay, take page number 12. Yeah, check your answers. If your answers are wrong, correct it. Okay, children? Yeah, first one, floating or sinking depends on the densities of dash and dash, solid and liquid. Okay, floating or sinking depends on the densities of dash and dash, solid and liquid. Okay, second one, convection currents are seen in dash and dash, liquids and gases. Okay, convection currents are seen in liquids and gases. We have seen the children. And the third one, warm air becomes dash and moves dash, whereas cold air becomes dash and moves dash. Okay, lighter, so it moves upward, and heavier, so it moves downward. Okay, and then fourth question, land and sea breeze are due to dash, convection. Okay, land and sea breeze are due to convection. Okay, have you all checked your answers, children? See the next page. Okay, children, take page number 13. Check your answers. The first question, which of the following statements about weight is true? Okay, which is true? Weight is a measure of gravitational force acting on the object. It is true, is it? And then weight varies depending on where the object is located in relation to Earth. It is also true. And then weight is measured by using a spring balance. That is also true. So the answer is all the above. Okay, D. Weight of a body is mass into acceleration due to gravity. Okay, weight of a body is mass into acceleration due to gravity. Okay, third one, the gravitational force between 1 kg of lead and the earth is dash. The gravitational force between 1 kg of melon and the earth. What is the answer, ma? The gravitational force between 1 kg of lead and the earth is same as the gravitational force between 1 kg of melon and earth. Okay, children, so option B. Okay, same as. And then fourth one, the mass of a body on the surface of the earth is 10 kg. We know, is it, children? The mass is a constant. Is it, children? It remains unchanged. So the same answer, 10 kg. Okay, children. So fill in the blanks. The next one, fill in the blanks. When a substance is heated in its density, its density decreases. Okay, when a substance is heated, its density decreases. Okay, and then second one, a hygrometer is used to measure relative density. Okay, a hygrometer is used to measure relative density. Yes, have you all checked your answers, children? Check it. Okay, if your answers are wrong, correct it. Okay, take page number 14. Check your answers, children. Can we read it? Any solid will not sink in water if its relative density is dash 1, less than 1, okay? Less than 1, okay? And then fourth one, 1 kilogram meter power minus 3 equal to 1 by 1000 gram per centimeter cube, okay children? And fifth one, in a convection current, the warm liquid dash and the cold liquid dash. In convection current, warm liquid rises and cold liquid sinks, okay? And state whether the following statements are true or false, okay? Convection air currents cause land and sea breeze. True. Is it children? Convection air current cause land and sea breeze. So true. Second one, when a substance is heated, its density increases. Is it right? When a substance is heated, its density decreases. So it is false. Okay children? Second one is false. And then third one, a substance that floats in one liquid may sink in another. Is it children? It is true, is it? In water, wood will float, but in kerosene, it will not float. So, a substance that floats in one liquid may sink in another. True, okay? The relative density multiplied by 1000 gives the density in CGS units. Is it true? The relative density multiplied by 1000 means that is SI unit, is it? So it is false. And then fifth one, hot fluid rises and cold fluid sinks. This gives rise to convection currents. Hot fluid rises and cold fluid sinks in convection currents only. But this is not the reason for convection current, is it children? What is the reason? The constant circular motion of liquids and gases carrying heat energy from heat source. So that convection current rises. Okay children? The constant circular motion of liquids and gases carrying heat energy from the heat source. Okay? That is the reason of convection current. So hot fluid rises and cold fluid sink is not the reason to give rise to convection current. So it is false. Okay? Right? False. First one is true, second one is false, third one is true, fourth and fifth is false. Okay? And match the following. Mass can be measured by beam balance. Is it? So beam balance 1E. And weight can be measured by spring balance. Okay? So 2C. And then third one, density kilogram per meter cube. Okay? Kilogram per meter cube. We'll write the density in kilogram per meter cube. Okay children? And then fourth one, force. Force in SI unit, force is Newton. Okay? The unit of force is Newton. Okay? So 4A. 5. Relative density has no unit. Okay children? Relative density has no unit. So 5D. So yeah, correct your numbers. 4, 3, 2, 5, 1. Okay? 4, 3, 2, 5, 1. Okay, if you got all the answers as correct means very good. Okay children? And your today's homework. We should write 2 examples in all the types of motion. We have learned 8 types of motion. So children, in all the 8 types, you should write 2 examples. Okay, for translating motion, you should write 2 examples. And for rotatory motion, you should write 2. Okay, for oscillatory motion, you should write 2 examples. Okay, think and write the example. Okay, don't see the book and copy from the book. Just think. Okay, think and write the examples by your own. Okay children? And your next homework is from book activity. Okay? Take page number 30. Take page number 30. See in the bottom E. Name the type of motion seen in the following cases. In page number 30, in the bottom E. Okay? Alphabet E. Name the type of motion seen in the following cases. Okay, first one, earth moving around its axis. Okay, should write the type of motion. Okay, what type of motion it is. Okay, you should write it. And then second one, apple falling from a tree. Okay, that is second one. And then third one, needle in a sieving machine. Okay, and then fourth one, bumblebee. Okay, and then fifth one, motion of a football. Okay, you should write the type of motion. Okay, what type of motion it belongs to. Okay, children. And this is your classwork. Okay, for the first lesson we had written only the numericals. Is it, children? After completing numericals, you should write answer briefly. Okay, yeah, take your book, page number 14. Have you all taken, children? Yeah, first question. When we say density of a gold is 19.3 gram per cc, what do we mean? They are only given the density of a gold. Is it, children? What is the density of gold? 19.3 gram per cc. Okay, from that what we can say? They are given 19.3 gram per cc. Is it? Gram per cc. So per means 1. Is it? Per means 1. So we can write as for 1 cc object, the mass will be 19.3 gram. Okay, we know, is it, children? Per means 1. So we are going to write for 1 cc object, 19.3 gram is the mass. Okay, can you all understand? Okay, we will see the second one. Okay, observe the diagram and answer the following. Okay, yeah, see the diagram. What they had given? Oil, kerosene, water, glycerin and mercury. Is it? Yeah, just take a glass of water. Okay, children, let's take a glass of water and pour a drop of oil in it. What you can see? It will float in water. Is it, children? If you had poured oil inside the water, means it will float in water. Why? Because the density of oil is lighter than water. Okay, so that it will float in water. Okay, children. And again, if you had poured kerosene inside the water, means what will happen? It will also float in water. Why? Because the kerosene is also lighter than water. Okay, and they had given glycerin and mercury. Is it? Glycerin and mercury we will not have it in home. Is it, children? So I will say, okay, just if you had poured glycerin means also it, what will happen? It is heavier than water. Okay, it is having high density than water, so it will sink in water. Okay, it will settle inside the water. Okay, settle to the bottom of the water. Okay, children. And if you have poured mercury means, what is the mercury? It is the liquid metal. Okay, mercury is the liquid metal. Okay, if you had poured mercury inside the water means also it will sink in water. That is, it will settle down in the water. Okay, children. Why? Because mercury has high density. Okay. Okay, from this we will answer. Okay, children. Identify a liquid denser than water. Which is denser than water? Yeah, see the diagram and say the answer. Kerosene. Is it, children? Kerosene. For A question, kerosene is the answer. Okay. And then B, identify a liquid lighter than water. Okay. Identify a liquid lighter than water. Which is lighter than water? Kerosene and oil. Is it? For the first question, glycerin is the answer. Liquid denser than water is glycerin. Okay. And for B, what is the answer? Lighter than water is kerosene and oil. Okay. Write kerosene and oil. Okay, children, have you all written? And C, identify the substance with the maximum density. Which is having the maximum density here? See the diagram and say. Mercury. Is it, children? Mercury is only having high density here. Is it, children? So mercury is the answer for C, mercury. Okay. And D question, identify the substance with the least density. It is having least density here. Oil. Okay. Oil is having least density. Okay. For A question, glycerin is the answer. Okay. For B, kerosene and oil. Okay. And C, mercury. Okay. For D, oil is the answer. Okay, children, have you all written? Okay, we'll see the third question. Okay. Yeah, see the book, page number 14. Third question. Explain why a golf ball is heavier than a tennis ball, though they are of same size. Okay, golf ball and tennis ball will be of same size. Okay. We all have seen tennis ball in our school, is it, children? Golf ball is also of this having the same size. Okay. Why it is heavier? Why the golf ball is heavier than table tennis ball? Because the material used in the golf ball is heavy. Okay, children? The material, the density of the material used in the golf ball is heavy. Okay, having more density. So that its density, that ball's density is also higher. Okay, children? Can you all understood? For making the ball, they will use a material. Is it, children? The material used for the golf ball having high density, so that the ball is also having high density than table tennis ball. Okay, children? So we'll see the fourth question. Okay. Explain why an ice cube will float in water but sink in kerosene. Why, children? Do you know? Do you know why? Because ice cube is having light density than kerosene. Okay. Ice cube is having heavy density than light density than water, but it is having high density than kerosene. Okay, so that it will float in water and it will sink in kerosene. Okay, children? Ice cube is having high density than kerosene. Okay, children? Okay. The proper reason is the density of ice is lesser than 1. Okay, so that it floats in water. Okay, but the density of ice is greater than the kerosene. Okay, comparing to the density of kerosene, density of ice is greater. Okay, so that it sinks in kerosene. Okay, children, what is the density of kerosene? Do you know? The density of kerosene is 810 kilogram per meter cube. Okay, 810 kilogram per meter cube. But ice, what is the density of ice? 920 kilogram per meter cube. Okay, children, density of ice is 920 kilogram per meter cube. So that it is having high density than kerosene, so that it sinks in water. Okay, children? Yeah, copy down. Copy down in your classwork notebook. Write only the first, third and fourth question. Okay. Had given it in the screen. Is it, children? Okay. See the screen and write the classwork. Okay. Write fast. Put the date and start writing, children. Use only ink pens. write neatly. Okay, children. Okay, from the next class I will give you classwork for lesson 2. Okay, we have completed the first lesson. In the next class I will give you classwork for the second lesson. Okay, children. Read your book up to what I have taught you. Okay, I have completed up to random motion. So children, up to page number 19 I had completed. Okay, so read up to that, learn it and do your homework, children. Okay, thank you.